So here we go. We are working on inequalities in one triangle. There's going to be a rule, it's a theorem. It's going to be what we deal with first, and then we're going to go through and we are going to deal with two formulas later on in the process. Please note when I tell you those or talk about them, these are important things that you need to know the name of, or you need to know the rule when we get to the actual test. So this is one of them. It is called the triangle exterior angle theorem. Now guys, listen to me. You don't have to write it out like that. You can write a triangle symbol. You can write EXT for exterior. You can write the angle symbol for angle. And you can write theorem out. There you go. Call it the triangle exterior angle theorem. Triangle exterior angle theorem. Okay, we'll talk about the theorem while y'all write that down, and then we'll actually write down what information you get out of this. Guys, an angle on the outside of a triangle is called an exterior angle, just like we had exterior angles and interior angles when we dealt with parallel lines. These exterior angles are always bigger than their two remote interior angles. Now, we need to talk about this word, because remote is not like a remote like you use for your TV. Remote means that it doesn't touch it. It's far away from it. So when we talk about an exterior angle like angle 4, the two remote interior angles would be the angles that are on the opposite side of the triangle that don't touch it. So that would be angle 1 right here and angle 2 down here. This angle on the outside, angle 4, has got to be bigger than angle 1 and angle 2. So we can say that the measure of angle 4 is going to be greater than, it's hard to put a greater and less than symbol when you're doing the angle symbol, so be careful. The measure of angle 4 is greater than the measure of angle 1. The measure of angle 4 would also be greater than what else? Measure of angle 2. Perfect. Okay, you can't compare it to the one that's touching it, guys. They don't give any rule for that. That's not in this theorem. They've never been proved. Okay, all you can do is say that the outside one is bigger than the two that are on the inside that don't touch it. The two remote interior angles. Questions? Okay. Okay, they're going to use this basically like a little proof, guys. This is going to be statement, reason. The statement is going to be this stuff. The reason would be the triangle exterior angle theorem. Here's how it would go. Some of them are direct, some of them are one step, some of them require 3 steps. We'll show you what they look like. First type, right here, guys. You see the outside angle right here? It's going to be bigger than what two angles? 2 and 3, perfect. But what one are they looking for? This one. Angle 1 compared to angle 2. Why is the measure of angle 1 greater than the measure of angle 2? Guys, it's simple. We just learned it. What's the name of it? The triangle exterior angle theorem. Try saying that like 82 times in a day. By the time I get to the end of this day, the last period that I have of this is not going to get to, it won't sound like that by the end of the day. That's it. That's all you have to do. Okay. Now some of them are not direct. Look at the picture for number 2. What do we know the measure of angle 1 is greater than in this picture? There's only one angle that's marked that's on the inside that we can say it's greater than. It's greater than 3. And the reason for that is the triangle exterior angle theorem. Take a minute, write that down. We're starting with what we got. What do we know? We know that 1 is greater than 3 because of the triangle exterior angle theorem. But we really know something else. Okay, what else do we know from the, go ahead and say it. Y'all say it. Yep. What do we know about them if they're vertical? They're the same. So the measure of angle 2 is equal to the measure of angle 3. What's the reason? She just said it. Vertical angles. So definition of vertical angles. Definition of vertical. Y'all see it's just like a little mini proof, right? This is just like statements over here, reasons over here. They're just not asking you to formalize it. Okay, last one. Guys, if I already know that 1 is greater than 3, but 2 and 3 are the same, I can replace the 3 with a 2. And what's it called when you replace something like that? Substitution property. Very nice. Very nice job, guys. Y'all knew which one we were replacing and you knew what it was called. That's awesome. That is the substitution property. When you are taking, because these are equal, you're saying because 2 and 3 are the same, I'm taking 2 and I'm replacing it in here where this spot is for the 3. Where I'm putting it, right down here, I'm putting that 2 in that spot. When you replace that, that's substitution property. Now look, do we have a reason to say that the measure of angle 1 is greater than the measure of angle 2? Yep, we're done. We've proven it. Guys, listen to me. It's either 1 step or it's 3 steps. I'm going to tell you 3. I'm not even going to tell you multiple. I'm going to tell you it's either 1 or it's 3. That's the only 2 choices on the homework. Okay? Any questions? Anybody still writing? Okay, here we go. So, guys, this actually is something people do really well on. The whole idea, if the side is longer, then the angle is going to be bigger. It's about the relationship between the angles and the sides. Okay? If the side is longer, then the angle will be bigger. Okay? The side is longer, the angle will be bigger. If the side is shorter, then the angle will be small. Not shorter. Smaller. There you go. Smaller. Okay, here we go. So, guys, when you see this 8 right here on the outside, you bring it over, you put an 8 right here, you circle it. Now, is that angle 8 degrees? No, but we're using the 8 to compare the angles with. The next one right here. This is a 5. We're going to take and draw it across here. We're going to put a 5 right here. We're going to circle it. So what we're going to be comparing is the measure of angle B. This would already be set up on your homework on this type of problem. Would be compared to the measure of angle C. Well, guys, what number's associated with B? What number's next to it? What do we circle by it? 5. What do we circle next to the C? 8. We're really comparing 5 to 8. What is 5 compared to 8? It is 5 is what compared to 8? Less than. Don't make fun of her. She's trying. Okay. Anybody have any questions? She's participating. She thought that was funny. She got it wrong.
No, I said 8 minus 5.
Oh, is that what you did? I didn't know where that came from. Okay. Anybody see anything they need to ask about? Guys, the next slide is just the same exact thing going backwards. Okay? Instead of comparing the angles, now they want you to compare the sides. The sides they want you to compare would be AB compared to, and they would already have the problem set up for you guys. You would be comparing AB compared to AC. AB compared to AC. So, guys, look right here. The angle across from AB is 50, so we write a 50 on it and circle it. That 50 is going to go right here above that number. Right here above that segment, 50. Across from the AC right here is 35. So we put a 35 right here. That means 35 goes right here above this number. So guys, what is 50 compared to 35? Greater than. There you go. Sorry, that was funny. Don't be doing her joke. Okay, any questions? Okay, guys, so we're going to use this to put angles in order, and triangle segments in order. Sorry, the S's were messing me up there. So here we go. We're going to start by putting angles in order. Listen to me. Every time I do this test, I say put the angles in order, and they list all the sides. I'm going to tell you, if it says list the angles in order, before you do anything else, put 3 angle symbols. Before you do anything, we're not even looking at the picture yet. And then the next thing I would do, since it says to go from least to greatest, I would say L to G over the top of it so you remember to go least to greatest. That's just for you. Like, to help you, I'm telling you. Because some will ask you greatest to least, some will ask you least to greatest. Okay, guys, here we go. If the side is 12, put a 12 in the angle that's across from it, circle it. You can draw the lines if it helps you get to where it goes. This is a 9, you can draw it across, you put a 9 in that angle, circle it. This is 14, excuse me. This is 14, draw a line across, put a 14 here, circle it. Does anybody have a question why those are going across to them? It's the side across from it, so we put the angle, put it in the angle that's across from it. We circle it, we compare. Okay, so which number has which angle has the smallest number in it? Angle B, that goes first. It's not hard, guys. You just got to make sure you do it in the right order. What one has the next biggest number?
B.
C, and then finally A. There you go. You just did it. Do you have questions? Anybody? Questions? Okay, let's do it again. Tell me what's different about example 4 than example 3. What are we putting in order? Sides. So before you do anything, draw the 3 segment bars so you don't forget that it's the sides you're putting in order, not angles. We are still going least to greatest. Okay. Now, you got to do math on this one. They're never going to give you all 3 angles. Anytime you have this, they're probably always going to give you just 2. What's 70 plus 60 subtracted from 180? What does that give you for your third angle? Do the math, guys. Y'all have calculators, you can do the math. 50? Perfect. So we've got all the angle measures. Now we're going to draw the lines, and we're going to put the measurements on the outside here next to the segments. Circle it. Take the 60, draw a line, put it out here, 60, and circle it. Take the 70, draw the line, put it out here, and circle it. So we're going least to greatest, so we need the smallest number. What side has the smallest number out of those 3 next to it? AC is how you name a segment, by 2 letters. This is AC. It's got a 50 next to it. Okay? What segment is the next biggest?
AB.
AB. And then finally, the last one, the biggest one?
BC.
I tend to go alphabetical order, but I would not take off either way, but I just tend to go alphabetical order. My keys will probably be most likely be alphabetical order. It depends on whether I did it or a sub did it. Like an A did it. Alright, questions, concerns, anything about that? Right. Then what we have left is dealing with like a weird problem. There's no way, 2 ways about it. I'm going to show you the easiest way you can do it. There's some really complicated math that we could do for it, and then I've got 2 formulas left. So, we're going to do the weird problem. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Grab your calculator, do the math. 48 plus 47 subtracted from 180 gives you what? Y'all have the calculators. I don't. I'm not doing the math. What was it? 85. Sorry, I couldn't hear. 85. Wonderful. Fill that in. Do the same thing on the other triangle. 95 plus 40. Then subtract from 180. What do you get? 45. Thank you. Okay, guys, we got all the angles in the triangle. Listen to me. You're looking for the shortest side. We're actually going to find the shortest and the longest, because sometimes they ask for shortest, sometimes they ask for longest. So here's how we're going to do this. Here we go. You're going to start by putting a random number somewhere on this picture on one of the sides. It doesn't matter what that number is, but I would suggest using 10, because it's small enough to work with, but it's not so big that you end up having hard numbers. You also aren't going to get into the negatives because it's too small. Okay? Here we go. I'm going to put 10 random somewhere. Y'all pick where it goes. I don't care. Pick a segment. A what? AB. Perfect. 10. Put 10 right here. Circle it. Thank you. I did that one in my last video, but it was the second one I did. I'm going to let y'all choose and we're going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. Y'all aren't. Okay, guys. That 10 is across from the 85. The 85 is the biggest, medium, or smallest out of these 3. Okay? So across from the medium one, I got to go down 1. What's 1 down from 10? 9. Put a 9 right here, circle it. Across from the middle one, put a 9. Okay, and then across from the smallest one, which is the 47, I'm going to go down again. What's 1 less than 9? So I'm going to put an 8 right here. just on that side of the triangle. Does anybody have any questions? If it gets bigger, then you go up by a number. If it gets smaller, then you go down. Right? I'm going to do this more than once, guys. Pay attention though. Keep with us. Okay. If it's 9 on this side, guys, then it's got to be the same length on the other side. So how long is it going to be? 9. Perfect. Out of those 3 angles, that 9 is across from the 40. Is that the biggest, medium, or smallest one out of these 3 angles? Look, 95, 40, and 45. Which one is it? It's going to be the smallest one. So we're going to have to get bigger to go to the medium. What is 1 more than 9? 10. I'm going to put that across from my 45. And then I got to keep going up because I'm getting bigger still. So I'm going to go up to the 95. And it's going to be 1 more than that. What's 1 more than that? 11. Look. Guys, which one's the shortest segment in the whole picture? 80. A, B. Okay? Now, is that the smallest angle in the whole picture? No, 40 was the smallest angle. But when you're comparing 2 different triangles, that's not how it works. You can't just pick the smallest angle. You got to go through this process. Okay, what would the longest one be? B what? BC. Perfect. Longest. They didn't ask that. I'm just doing it because they might ask that on a different thing. But guys, listen to me. I'm going to clear it off. Do not do anything. Just put down your pencils and watch. This tends to help people. I need someone to give me, oh wait, what was this? Was 85. This one was what? 45. I need someone to give me another segment to put the 10 on. It doesn't matter where you start, guys. Which one do you want to put the 10 on? A what? AD. 10. Here we go. Okay? This is across from the 47. The 47 is the smallest one out of these 3. So I've got to get bigger by 1 when I go across from the 48. So 1 more than 10 would be 11. I've got to get 1 bigger to go across from the 85, so I'm going to put a 12 right here. If it's 11 on this side, then it's got to be 11 on this side. That 11 is across from my 40. 40 is the smallest of those angles. The next biggest one is my 45, so I've got to go up by 1. What's 1 more than 11? 12 is going to go right here. And then what's going to go across from the 95 to get even bigger? 13. Guys, look at the question again. Which one is still the shortest one? AD. Which one is still D? Which one is still the longest one? BC. Do you see it doesn't matter where you put the 10? It works every time. You can even put the 10 on this side and it still works. It works every time, guys. You don't have to do the crazy stuff they want you to do. Okay, we're going to go ahead. I've got 2 rules, like 2 formulas. Please write these down. You need to know these for your test. These are flashcard problems, guys. Our test is not till next Friday, so you got plenty of time to work on these. Okay, the rule is when you have a triangle, in order for it to make a triangle, the shorter 2 sides, so short plus the short, has got to be greater than the long. Otherwise, it wouldn't make a triangle. They would just lay on top of each other. You wouldn't have any room to make it, make into a triangle. They're too short. If they're not longer than this, then you can't make a triangle. Okay? Short plus the short has got to be greater than the long. Now, in this picture, that would be like AB plus BC would have to be greater than AC. Short plus the short has got to be greater than the long. I think personally the problems are easier than the actual rule. Here we go. Here are the problems. Okay, guys, the 2 shorter ones would be the 6 and the 8. 6 plus 8 has got to be greater than 14. That's it. 2 shorter ones got to be greater than the long one. What's 6 plus 8? 14 has got to be greater than 14. Is 14 greater than 14? No. It's equal. It's not greater than. So the answer would be no. Basically, that'd be 2 lines that are exactly the same length right on top of each other. You wouldn't have space for a triangle. Okay, here we go. 2 shorter ones, 15 plus 16 has got to be greater than 30. Now, be careful on they love to put them out of order. So remember, it's not about like the first one, the second one, and the third one. It's the two shorter ones compared to the longest one. Okay, 31 has got to be greater than 30. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Yes on that one. Okay, the next one, 2 plus 8 has got to be greater than 11. What's 2 plus 8, guys? 10. Is that greater than 11? Nope. There you go. That's it. That's the rule. Short plus the short has got to be greater than the long. Questions, concerns, anything about it? Okay. The last rule, again, several problems on the test, so you've got to know how to do this. Here's your other formula today. The other formula today looks like this. Subtract less than x less than add. So, when you have a triangle and you know two sides, you're going to be able to find what's called the range of how big the third side could be. The third side could be anywhere from this number to this number. To do it, we have this nice, lovely little formula. We are going to subtract the numbers, put less than x, less than, and then we are going to add the numbers. So in this case, that would be 5 minus 2 is less than x is less than 5 plus 2. Guys, subtract the numbers, add the numbers. Now when you're subtracting the numbers, you can't deal with negatives because distances are not negative. So you always got to put the what number first? Bigger number first. Okay, so what would the range be? What's 5 minus 2? So it'd be 3 is less than x is less than, and then 5 plus 2 would be 7. Now I have a question to ask you. So, if I was asking you about the length of these sides and I said, could the side length be 5? Yes or no? Is it between 3 and 7? Yes. Could the side length be 6.5? Yes, it's between those. Could the side length be 9?
No.
Could the side length be 3?
No.
No, because it can't be, it doesn't have an or equal to, so it can't be 3. Can't be 7 either, guys. Can't be less than 3 even. Does anybody have a question? Falls in that range. Okay, here we go. Problem is exactly that every time, guys. Subtract less than x less than add. Here we go. Subtract the two numbers. 7 minus 3 less than x less than add the two numbers. 7 plus 3. Takes more time to write it than it does to do the math on this. Okay, 7 minus 3 is 4. Is less than x is less than 10. Okay, small numbers, easy. Big numbers, still easy, guys. It's still the same math. Alright, it's going to be subtract 93 minus 60 is less than x is less than add the two numbers 93 plus 60. Okay, guys, 93 minus 60 would be 33 is less than x. What's it get when you add them? 1 what? 53? 153? There we go. Now decimals, you might need to bust out a calculator. Depends on how well you do arithmetic. Check, guys, use them anytime you need to. You get to use the calculator on the whole EOC. It's not like last year. You don't get to use it on just half and half. Okay? It's the whole thing you can use it on this year. So, 19.4 minus 7.2 is less than x is less than, add those two, it'd be 19.4 plus 7.2. When you subtract them, what's that give you? 12.2 is less than x is less than, what do you get when you add them? I'm sorry, I missed that. 26.6. There we go. 26.6. Okay, there we go, guys. That's your notes for today. Anybody have any questions?